chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringest the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. For now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
What's up, gang, and welcome back to DSR. I am your host and chosen Undead Bullock, and today we're going to take on the Undead Burg. Mainly, we're going to ascend into the Undead Burg via the Ratway, or the Waterway. So we are still rocking the Thief class here. And since the last video, I have not leveled or done anything else. Of course, I could start with the Blight Town Bell of Awakening. But for the sake of this playthrough, we're going to go ahead and do the one up above in the Undead Church. Somewhat the intended order. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. We're going to see how far we can get today. And I have a certain goal in mind. But before we get started proper, I'm going to collect a few more items here. Namely, the Ring of Sacrifice. So DSR, or Dark Souls, doesn't really have any save states. So when you die, you go back to the bonfire that you last rested at. In this case, for us, it's Firelink Shrine. But if you have a ring of, and then you lose everything. You lose your humanity if you have any. You lose your souls if you have any. But with the Ring of Sacrifice, you don't lose anything. So to kill this rat usually and sometimes rewards the player with humanity, but not this time. So with that little transition, we are now in the Undead Burg, one of my favorite levels of any game. Yeah, watch out for that guy. He always does that. His little buddy, too. Huh. Gonna dash across this bridge and take him out. And ultimately... Oh, what? Finish this dude off. And Dark Souls Remastered, fall gates don't necessarily mean there's a boss behind it. And this is one of those cases. But before we go there, see if I can, make this jump. You don't have to do this jump. I'll show you how to get here the normal way. Oh wait, here comes someone. Take that. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. This next area can be pretty dangerous, so I'm gonna go ahead and top myself off because there's an ambush here. Alright. Like, if you're not used to running the thief class, if you're a beginner at this game, I'll tell you right now, it's probably a good idea to run the, I think it's warrior class. Whichever one starts with a hard leather set. It's a very good class. The thief class is for, well, I like it because it comes with the master key as its initial equip item. Which means I can go to certain places early or get into areas I'm not really supposed to be in, i.e. a thief. So we've come full circle here. And that's where that humanity was. Speaking of humanity, let me go ahead and use one and show you something real quick. You're going to see up here where it says item discovery. It says 100, right? So I'm going to use one humanity. It's right over here. In addition to a full health restore, which it usually gives, what it should always gives, my item discovery has gone up by 50 points. So the more human you are, the more you can see the world for what it is. The less human you are, the less likely you are to see the world for its true nature. Yeah, so it's gonna get pretty nasty, but stick with me, and we're gonna get through this. There's an archer up there, so be careful in this zone. Oh man, I hate when that happens. When dude's not even looking at me, but he can still shoot me straight up. It's crazy. Anyway, get our next shield, the wooden shield. Now let's deal with this guy. Kick. Tight match hard. That's some upgrade material. So I'll slow it down a little bit and let you see what just happened. Like whenever you fight those guys, it's probably a good idea to kick. And in Dark Souls, that's your default forward R2 or forward R1. It's not a skill, you just can do it. You can do it with swords. The only difference is going to be curved swords, and I'll show you that later. Down there is our next NPC, and we're going to go talk to him real quick. after we deal with this. No idea what this guy's doing back here, but oh well. So let's go ahead and talk to our next NPC.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
We'll get most of the stuff later, but the thing we want right now is underneath the key tab. We're gonna get the residence key. Everything else will come back for later. But for right now, that's all we're gonna need.
Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon has moved in below. And up above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave.
So he gives us a little bit of a warning of the trials we have yet to face, but we have seen one, but we haven't come into contact with it. Anyway, so he warns us about the goat demon and the bull demon, and of course the humongous drake. So that gives you an idea of the world of Lordran.
Here, I'm not here to chit-chat. We talk business or we talk nothing at all.
That's usually what he says when he has nothing further to say to you.
Thank you kindly.
So we are indeed going to encounter these trials. Probably not all of them in a single day. But we are indeed going to encounter at least one of them. No doubt. Oh. That attack is really annoying. And they do it very often. Anyway. Get a couple of throwing knives. Throwing knives in this game act like pulling weapons. Or pulling items. What I mean by that is, if you're facing a group of enemies and you don't want to take them on all at once, use a throwing knife on a single one, and you fight them one-on-one. Alright, so we're back at the beginning here. And so we're back up here. That's where the archer was. That's where the shielded spear guys, and right there is the merchant. So now we're gonna continue pressing forward. We're gonna activate this bonfire, but we're not gonna rest at it. If you need to rest at it, go ahead. But here's your warning: it does respawn the enemies, and it's only gonna give you 5 Estus shots. So if you don't want to respawn the enemies and you already have over 5, then it's probably not worth it. Unless you just want to conserve your Estus flask. So you just run across there, but don't go too far into this room because it's gonna trigger a nice little ambush if you go too far. And I think I just, yeah, here it comes. Alright. Okay. There we go. I was hoping I'd get that. There's also one behind this wall. Get his attention. I hear somebody moving. And by the sound of the armor, it's not a good thing. It's not moving anymore. Or maybe he... You know, I've never tried that approach with this knight coming up, so... It sounds like he's moving, though. It's not like he's coming for me, but he shouldn't be, right? Anyway, let's go up here and trigger this ambush. One of these dudes is going to start throwing fire bombs, and the other two are going to straight up attack. But like I said before, pull one at a time, and it makes it a lot easier. Let's see, does he keep coming or... Alright, go ahead and take him out. Alright, that didn't work out. I could have gone better. But I'm okay with the end result. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. This is where your firebomb throwers are. And it always seems to happen around this area for me, but if you look into your top left, I now have 2 humanity, but I didn't use the second one. What happened there is I got I think I like to call it soft humanity. When you get it from whenever you slay an enemy. And it just automatically adds to your count. Gold pine resin's gonna come in handy where we're going. So as you saw, there's 3 enemies waiting for us up ahead. So what I'm gonna do is demonstrate this throwing. Oh, well, here comes one without the warning. Come on up here. It's the slow spear guy. So what we're gonna do with this guy, we're gonna kick and chop. Like this, and there you go. Let's draw one of these guys in. I did 35 damage. That's a lot for a throwing knife. Alright. And this guy, since he's by himself, take him out nice and easy. So that armor we heard earlier belongs to this guy down here. This is a pretty strong enemy, so if you're not confident in your ability to parry or backstab in a tight area, I probably wouldn't recommend taking this dude on. But there's one thing I want to try. I've never done this before. It's not a lot of damage, but he knows I'm here! Okay, that could have been bad. That first hit, my shield took most of the damage on that one. That's why I wasn't staggered. But 3 parries takes this guy out. And it drops the Titanite chunk. And he guards the blue Tearstone ring. The blue Tearstone ring boosts your defense when health is low. Just gonna go ahead and throw it on. Don't really need it at this point. Because it boosts it when it's low, but any hit after that can straight up kill you anyway, so. I like the rare Tearstone ring. Its effects are a lot more pronounced and it's a lot better for you. Nicely done. So this watchtower, you can, if you have the master key, you can actually take that route down there, but I would suggest holding off on that because there's an enemy down there that you'd be in no way prepared to take on in your current state. As you can see, this got a large shard and 2 twinkling titanite. As you can see, this weapon isn't really good for just damage over time. It's just good for its crits and stuff and bleed damage. Alright, so this fall gate does have a boss behind it. And it's going to be one of the adversaries pointed out to us earlier by the undead merchant. That dude bled, and so did he. So they're susceptible to bleeding. So what I'm gonna do... Oh, not that. Let's go ahead and equip this and get ready to use it. This upcoming boss isn't too difficult. I'll show you my method of dealing with him. Because he's so big, it's gonna be almost the same way you deal with the monster in the Undead Asylum. So we're gonna get past this broken bit of wall. Throw that on. Any weapon is very effective against this guy. Oh, he can knock you off. Alright, so we're gonna have to start playing offensively here. Gotta get away from this. Back off a little bit. Let him dive at you. Ow. Gotta heal up because he stepped on me twice. So the reason why I'm doing so much damage right now is because of this. Yeah, as you can see, the lightning effect is worn off, and I'm back to doing normal damage, which is nothing special. But if you whittle him down enough, he can bleed, and oh my gosh. This is a lucky drop right here. Go ahead and get the homeward bone and the humanity, but of course, we got the Demon's Great Axe. Now that is a rare drop right there. So we're gonna press on. Can't see anything down there right now, but when we get a little bit closer, he'll pop into our field of view. Alright. So we're gonna step out and then step back in. Because here comes our second adversary. Nice demonstration of your power. And dun dun dun, our next NPC.
Ah, hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Solaire of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition, if you have a moment. The way I see it, our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey?
90% of the population in Lordran is all hollows. Enemies that will attack you on sight with no conscience whatsoever. But the other 10% have a voice, has a name.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this. We are amidst strange beings in a strange land. The flow of time itself is convoluted, with heroes centuries old phasing in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But use this to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this.
but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Alright, so what he has given us and requested of us is to join him in his quest for, well, just to assist him and request assistance, because he's a warrior of sunlight, which means he's a friend of ours. And he gave us the white sign soapstone. Where is that? And with this, you can leave your summon sign, which means if you lay it down right before a boss area or in a room, somebody can summon you. But if the boss of that area is defeated, you can just have fun going through tearing stuff up, I guess.
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent.
Alright, now that we're done talking to that guy, let's go ahead and deal with this Drake. So we get around the stairs here. Go down this way and kick the ladder. What this has done for us is given us a shortcut back to this bonfire. You can now rest at this bonfire if you choose to do so. Because you do not have to go back through the Undead Burg to get to this point. But if you die and you don't rest at that bonfire, you'll start all the way back at the Firelink Shrine bonfire. In this game, you return to the last bonfire you rested at, and you have to rest at a bonfire to quote-unquote register it for the list of bonfires that you get later. So you can dominate this area by farming some souls up with that Drake's fire breath, but we'll do that later. I'm not interested in doing that right now. Maybe between videos, but right now I just want to get this next bonfire. So we wait behind this pillar so he doesn't burn us to cinders, because he will. If he hits you with that, it's pretty deadly. Come on down. You can chop his tail off if you're strong enough, but I don't meet the strength and or power requirements to get that cut, so alright, so he's gone until you restart the game. Soul of a Nameless Soldier, and my favorite weapon, the Claymore. Let me check something out real quick. So my strength is at 9. The Claymore is one of my favorite weapons, and it has a strength requirement of 16. So in between videos, I'm going to get the strength requirement to use this Claymore. Wait. Yeah, I got the dex requirement in spades. So, yeah, in between videos, I'm going to change up my style a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and light this bonfire. And rest at it. If you can't get past the Drake there, there's another route you can take that involves going under the bridge. I'll show you it later. But ultimately, when you do that, you'll come up through here. There's an even stronger knight up there that I'm not going to take on just yet. As you can see, once you get past the Drake, your weapon's effectiveness drops a little bit if you haven't leveled at all, which I haven't. But I'm not too worried about it. We'll take care of that later. But first, let's deal with this area. Let's do this. Oh yeah. There is an undead or a hollow that runs through here and does that if you don't beat him to it. Got the basement key. That's the whole point in coming back here. I had to get rid of these guys. I think he's the hollow that does it. Once you kill him, though, he doesn't respawn until the next playthrough. You know what? I'm not afraid of these guys. Bring it on. The only thing I am concerned about, however, is that dang warthog. But I actually had to deal with it, too. Oh, he's coming at me. I hear him. He's already taking care of himself. I can hear him burning in the fire. Wow. That many hits, huh? That's kind of why I want to change my weapons up a little bit. Because my damage output is very abysmal. Except when you get your parries. Oh! Take him out. There should be a couple of more hollows down there. How much damage did that do? I can't tell. Anyway, go ahead and pick these up because these are coming handy. I don't like that spear guy down there, but launch that into the fire. Alright. Come down here and deal with the spear dude. Oh man. So that guy came up here because he was a trap. Oh, look at that. Yes, these hollows can use an Estus flask. Because at one point, these hollows were actual, you know, people. People like me, people like Solaire. But they cracked. But they still have a use of their... Yeah, he didn't drop anything. Wait. That's a halberd. Not a halberd, but a scythe weapon. I never noticed that. I thought it was an axe. But anyway, let's move on. You can continue on that way, but I'm going to go ahead and take this route. Because there's an item I would like to get that you can't get anywhere else that you're probably going to need. Did you use that? Alright, dude. There were 2 hollows that came out after me. So the trap was sprung whenever I used that alluring skull. Man, I gotta do something about this weapon damage. Take that. Got the mystery key. That'll come in handy later, and you can't get it anywhere else. There are some locks in this game that the master key doesn't work on, and you need certain other keys. The mystery key is a prime example. No, wait. I think you can do it without the mystery key, but I'm not really sure. I always grab it when I come through here. This dude. Don't want to mess around on these beams because I don't want to fall. It's not going to hurt too much, but I'd really rather not do it. And so what this is going to do, ultimately, if you don't get to the gate in time before it closes it, this takes you into the next area. Right up here, because we were just right down there. The metal warthog was there, and this is the gate on this side. So this dude is lamenting a fallen friend. He's got his back to us, so backstab city. Oh my gosh. Oh man, keep dropping those shards. A night shield. See that guy up there? We'll deal with him in a minute. Let's go get rid of that. Nope. Oh, I was out of stamina. I wasn't paying attention. I'm just not so used to having weak weapons at this point. Usually by this point I've leveled my character a little bit. My damage output goes up. Bah, whatever. No use crying over it. Get this guy. Now, these Balder Knights are pretty dangerous at this level because they can backstab, number one, and number two, they hit pretty decently hard. But of course, they can be parried. Now oh, there he is. The other guy to deal with is this buffoon right here. He bled. He's going for the Estus, but we don't want that, right? Alright, so if we take this left down these stairs, we've come back again full circle. Pull this dude out. Is he coming? Come on now. Alright, we got him out of the picture. Pick up another one of my favorite weapons, the halberd halberd. This dude doesn't pull normally, so what you're gonna do is walk up a little bit and get this dude's attention. Because he doesn't pull. The idea is he's supposed to trick you into coming all the way in, so this dude can backstab you. I don't even know why I'm doing this right now, because I'm not gonna take this route. Ah! Alright, that hurt. Nice. So that guy up there, he can be parried, but he can't be riposted. In this weapon, in this condition, it's a lot of effort with not a whole lot of reward. So I'm just gonna skip that for now. Alright, so this scene can be pretty bad. These two dudes with the sword will charge you, and the dude back there is gonna start shooting at me. So with this low damage weapon, this is going to be pretty gnarly. You got to take advantage of your frames if you can parry. In other words, if you can parry one of them or backstab one of them, like that, it negates the other's attack and gives you some breathing room. And then, you'll finish him off too. But if you got the damage, then you can just brute force that. Alright. Alright, so we're going to make a mad dash through here. We're going to piss a couple people off, but so what? Gonna activate this elevator. Or this lift. Originally, this lift was broken. But we've just fixed it, and granted us a nice nifty shortcut back to Firelink Shrine. Nice. Before we leave today, Crestfallen Warrior has a few more words for us. Let's see what he has to say.
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a smith box soon. Unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments.
So, he is just giving us another idea as to what we can do when next we meet. And when next we meet, we'll find a way to forge our weapons, and we'll take on some more of the Undead Burg. Until then, bye-bye.